Welcome to Deep Thought. Dig through the information floating around. I'm gonna tell you what, man, there's just a lot of information floating around. Some of it is good, some of it is bad. A lot of disinformation, especially with social media. Anybody can come on and sound important and give you something to think about. That's why even with the stuff I talk about, what do I always say? I say, look, don't take my word for it. Go out there. You know, I'm known for talking about body game. I was like, well, why don't you hit the gym yourself, see if it works for you. You know, go look for it. You know, it's interesting with body game because I get people constantly hit me up and they say, hey, Uncle Rom, this is an example of body game. I'm like, at least do the research. I'm saying, even with me, don't just be like, oh, just follow. Y'all notice I always say, no matter what, even stuff I talk about on here, I say, think about it for yourself. Even on here, I say, think about it for yourself, right? Because I'm going to tell you what, people, one of the things, good things with social media is people can get the information out. That's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. People can put out, there's people who purposely put out disinformation. Even in comments, people will say whatever. And see, they want, there's people who want to, for whatever reason, it could be a political reason, a spiritual reason, or they could just be evil, just to like throw you off. No, you investigate everything. Don't just take anybody's word for it, even information. Okay, look that up if you know, because one thing people will tend to do, especially in these spaces, they looking for the information that confirms their biases instead of asking themselves, okay, does this really work for me? Because I'll tell you one thing I'll do. I purposely look for stuff that goes against what I talk about. Like, okay, like I'm known for talking about body game on my main channel, you know, guys for it. I actually do look into, I've looked into, you know, something that can go against that. And I was like, you can't really go against that. The reason why, but only thing I've seen is, you know, you might have some, only thing I've seen just really exploring it is, and I've talked about this, is, you know, women especially liking different bodies. But I haven't seen anything to say it don't work at all, like women just ignoring it, you know. And I've actually looked at some people who try to go against it, and I was like, well, they ain't really presenting anything. They'll say, oh, it don't work. Okay, how come it don't work? How come they not looking? You know, but I did the work. I did the work. See, whenever I come up with an idea, I immediately look for something that can come against it. I immediately, no matter what. You know, it was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, here's my idea. Here's my business. Okay, what can stop it? What goes against it? Like even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I tell men, read stuff that goes against your belief systems. That's, and the only thing you're doing that for is to think, all right? And really to understand different things. That's very important, you know? That's very important. So you want to do that because you have to, because one thing, now, so much information floats around. So many people can sound very important, you know? As a teacher said back in high school, baffling you with bullshit. Seriously, anybody can say that's the only thing. It's good, like I said, social media is good because people who might have been can really get some stuff out. But then it's bad because, well, people can really get some stuff out that don't make any sense. Or somebody, you know, like I said, people want to listen to people if they, you know, unless they validate whatever their biases are. See, people look for stuff, people look for other people to validate their biases instead of looking for truth. That's one thing, you gotta be dedicated to truth. So you're gonna have to dig through some stuff. Like when you're looking at books and everything, I always say if you read through a book, it's very important to look at the endnotes and where they got the information from. Then you gotta look. No matter what the book is, I'll say, okay, let me check out this other stuff. They said something, I was like, okay, let me check it out for myself. You know, or even when somebody agrees with what I'm saying or what I'm looking for, whatever my biases are. I'm still human, I'm still gonna have some biases. But Maybe somebody agrees with it. Okay, that feels good. No, trust me, it feels good. You're like, oh yeah, they agree. But is it the truth though? Because then you dig even more and say, hold up, is this correct? Is this something that I want to really look at? Like when you're doing research, a true to the game researcher looks at everything. Not just what that's and then if you find something that goes against whatever your belief system is, then you really have to stop and just think about, okay, this goes against it. In fact, it invalidates what I'm believing. You have to accept it. And you have to accept it because it's what the reality is. It's the truth. It's the truth. And you want to just see it. You just don't want to hold on to a bias. Because even now I look at different stuff and I was like, okay, all right, how can I incorporate this into what I'm saying? Okay, first, does it go against it? But then it might add something to it. So I'll say, okay, let me add that to this paradigm, my belief system. And you want to do that, yeah, but you got to dig. You just can't. One of the things you don't want to do, you don't want to just take what somebody says on the surface. You just know just because somebody said it. It's like, oh, okay. Is that the case? Like I heard something this morning, I ain't gonna say what it was, but I was like, is that really the case? Or this is a person saying something. Because remember, some of it be real out here, especially during political season. Sometimes people get paid to say something, to support a certain candidate without really looking at it. No matter what they say, no matter what someone says, investigate for yourself. People can say whatever. That's why they have fact checking. People can say whatever, but you need to know it for your own edification. Don't follow something just on the surface. Follow something because you've done the research. Like I said, even with what I say, I have zero problem with someone researching it because I don't say stuff off the top of my head. I don't talk about anything I haven't seen worked or experienced myself as seeing it work, no matter what it is, no matter if it's like deep thought. The whole purpose of deep thought is to get you to think. But when I talk about on my money channel, I'm obviously making money. Now, you notice I've never talked about making $1 million. I haven't made $1 million yet. When I do, then I'll talk about it, but I can get you to six figures. I can get you to six figures, and plus I know I can manage my money. So that's what I talk about. But even then, you need to apply it and see if it works for you. Even then, no matter what I talk about, on any of my channels, does it work for you? Do the information, okay? So that's the thing. But you got to dig through it. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. You got to dig through the information, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all, but dig through the information, all right? It's like no matter what anybody says, including Uncle Rom, dig through it, all right? I'll talk to y'all. Peace.